70% of people over 60 carry high blood pressure without a whisper of warning. I was one of them. A few years ago, I stepped into a checkup, expecting a quick nod from the nurse. The cuff tightened, and when 160/100 glared back, her warm smile faded into a frown. No chest pain, no dizzy spells, just a cold shock in that sterile room, the hum of fluorescent lights overhead. Are you sure your heart isn't whispering for help? Because sometimes the most dangerous things feel completely normal until they aren't. I'm Dr. Kenji, but that day I wasn't a doctor. I was a man staring at my own fragility. Learning danger doesn't shout. It creeps through the habits we barely notice, the bowl of noodles we savor, the chair we sink into, the worries we bury. In today's longevity tale, I'm not here to lecture. I'm here to sit with you, sharing 8 silent habits that might be pressing on your heart, just as they pressed on mine. These 8 quiet habits feel harmless, but they quietly unravel your heart, day by day, breath by breath. I'll walk you through the gentle steps that help me and others find our way back to health, one small choice at a time. Ready to hear what your heart's been trying to say? High blood pressure, the silent killer, doesn't crash in from one grand error. It's the slow weave of 8 small choices, the salty dish you love, the hours you sit, the stress you hold, the sleep you trade for one more episode. I learned this not from medical charts, but from my own racing pulse and the memory of my grandmother's frail hand after her heart attack at 70. Her whisper, "I thought I had more time," still echoes in me, a quiet ache that pushed me to face my habits. I was a busy doctor rushing through meals, ignoring my body's pleas, until that 160/100ths reading woke me. Small shifts, less salt, short walks, deeper breaths, eased my pressure to 130/80ths over months. You don't need to overhaul your life to protect your heart. A few tender changes, like a fresh vegetable on your plate, a stroll in the morning glow, or a moment of calm at dusk, can lighten its burden. Today, I'll share stories of Clara, John, and Mary, who are walking this path just as I am. We'll uncover the science behind these habits and simple steps you can take starting now. Which of your daily routines might be quietly asking for your care? Habit 1. The comfort food that hurts. A sprinkle of salt on your dinner? Harmless, you think? I did too, hunched over my kitchen table, a steaming bowl of instant noodles under a dim lamp, the salty tang my solace after 12-hour hospital shifts. The sodium's bite felt like a hug, a reward for long days. But my 160/100ths reading showed those noodles were no friend. They were choking my heart. Clara, a 62-year-old retired teacher from Florida, lived this too. Each night, she'd arrange bacon strips, creamy mashed potatoes, and a heap of salty chips on her table, the soft glow of a single bulb overhead, the clink of plates her only company. It was her refuge after caring for her husband, whose dementia stole their shared stories, moments like dancing to old jazz records in their youth. But her doctor's warning hit like a thunderclap. Clara, your pressure 160/100ths. A stroke is near. Her hands trembled, her fork still in midair. No signs, no pain, just a number screaming danger. The American Heart Association warns that over 1,500 milligrams of sodium daily, barely a teaspoon, forces your body to hold water, pressing arteries like a river straining a crumbling dam. This taxes your heart, raising risks of heart attack, stroke, and kidney damage. Over years, sodium stiffens blood vessels, making them less elastic, like old rubber losing its stretch. Potassium-rich foods, spinach, sweet potatoes, bananas can counteract this, relaxing vessels and lowering pressure by 5 to 8 mmHg. I stood in my pantry, the fluorescent light harsh, tossing salty snacks into a bin, choosing quinoa and roasted zucchini instead. My hands shook a little, not from fear, but from resolve. Clara swapped her chips for cucumber slices, crisp and cool, dipped in creamy hummus. Her plate turned vibrant. Emerald broccoli steamed soft, ruby cherry tomatoes bursting with flavor, golden sweet potatoes kissed with olive oil and a pinch of thyme. She learned to read labels, picking low-sodium soups, sprinkling rosemary or basil for zest. I did too. My kitchen now, a garden of greens and golds, the aroma of herbs filling the air, each bite a step toward healing. A month later, Clara's pressure fell to 140/90ths. Mine followed, and I felt lighter, like a shadow had lifted from my chest. Clara's smile, brighter now, dances in my mind as she sets her colorful table, her husband humming faintly beside her. What's the saltiest dish you love? Could one swap like a handful of baby carrots or a slice of avocado? Start your heart's renewal? Habit 2. Sitting still weakens your heart. I used to think sinking into my recliner was my reward. Hours lost with a coffee mug warm in my hands, papers strewn around, the TV's hum a soft backdrop. After long days saving lives, it felt like rest. But dizzy spells whispered what my chair hid, my heart straining under the stillness. John, a 67-year-old veteran from Ohio, fell into this trap. Mornings with his newspaper, afternoons glued to baseball games, he thought retirement meant slowing to a halt. He'd sit in his worn armchair, the creak of its springs a familiar comfort, until one day in his garage, his legs gave out, tools crashing to the concrete. His 10-year-old grandson, Leo, ran to him, voice breaking, "Grandpa, you okay?" John's pressure, 165/95ths, was a silent alarm he'd missed, his heart begging for movement. The American Heart Association says 30 minutes of light movement, daily walking, stretching, chair yoga, lowers pressure by 5 to 8 mmHg. Sitting too long stiffens arteries, like pipes rusting shut, forcing your heart to pump harder against rigid walls. Motion, even gentle, keeps vessels soft, blood flowing like a clear stream. I started walking 10 minutes at dawn, sunlight warming my face, sneakers crunching on gravel, the morning air sharp with dew. John, spurred by Leo's toothy grin, tried chair yoga on YouTube, his old military cap tilted back. I see him now, laughing at his stiff arms, Leo cheering, "You're a pro, Grandpa." John walked 20 minutes after lunch, waving to neighbors under Ohio's golden sun, their dogs barking in the distance. He stood hourly, stretching by his window, the breeze cool on his weathered skin, a reminder he was still alive. 2 months later, John's pressure was 145/85ths. My dizzy spells faded, my steps firmer, as if my heart had found its rhythm again. John walks for Leo's future to see him graduate someday. If your chair's holding you too long today, pause. Could one short walk, just a few steps under the sun, start something new for your heart? Habit 3. Weight that creeps in quietly. Weight slips in like dusk a cookie here, a skipped breakfast there, each bite a small surrender. I saw it in my mirror, pounds piling from late-night donuts snatched after hospital rounds, their sugary glaze a fleeting escape from exhaustion. I'd tell myself, just one. My 160/100ths reading begged to differ, my heart laboring under the extra load. Clara felt this too. Caring for her husband, she'd curl up with a bag of chips, their salty crunch a brief respite from his fading memories. Her favorite dress tightened, not from wild binges, but from those quiet, stressed moments in her living room, the tick of a clock her only sound. Her 160/100ths checkup was a mirror she couldn't turn away from. The National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute says losing 5 to 10% of body weight lowers pressure by 5 to 10 mmHg, cooling inflammation that burdens your heart. Belly fat, especially, sparks inflammation, like embers smoldering in a dry field, stiffening arteries, and taxing your heart's every beat. Excess weight also increases blood volume, forcing the heart to pump harder, like an engine pushed beyond its limit. I began eating slower, savoring a bowl of oats with sliced apples under the soft glow of morning light, their sweetness enough. Clara added black beans, spinach, and tart berries to her meals, using smaller plates to guide her portions, stopping when her body whispered, "Enough." Her table glowed with life. Red lentils simmering in a pot, green apples gleaming in a bowl, roasted vegetables warm from the oven, their earthy scent filling her home. I piled zucchini and quinoa on my plate, each bite feeding my heart, not just my hunger, the colors a quiet promise to myself. Clara lost 7 pounds over weeks. Her pressure fell to 135/85. I shed 5, my energy blooming like spring after a long winter. We walked taller, Clara holding her husband's hand, me feeling lighter on my morning paths. What treat weighs on you today? Could a scoop of lentils or a handful of blueberries lighten your heart's load? Habit 4. Just one cigarette after dinner. One cigarette after dinner? I thought it was my harmless pause. On my balcony, smoke curling under a starlit sky, I'd exhale the weight of the day, the city's hum faint below. My racing pulse told a different story, my heart straining with each puff. John believed this too. Each night he'd light up outside his Ohio home, the vast sky above, his old lighter flicking in the dark, thinking one cigarette couldn't hurt. Until he collapsed in his garage, pressure 165/95, tools clattering. His 10-year-old grandson, Leo, stood frozen, eyes wide and wet, whispering, "Grandpa?" That moment changed everything. The CDC says a single cigarette tightens arteries, spiking pressure for hours. Nicotine scars the delicate lining of arteries, like scratches on fine glass, raising risks of stroke and heart attack, especially past 55. It also triggers the release of stress hormones, keeping your heart on edge, like a car idling too high. I quit, though I missed that ritual's quiet. Nicotine patches eased the cravings, and I traded smoke for deep breaths, a warm mug of herbal tea in my hands, its steam rising like a small prayer. John, with Leo's small hand in his, sipped chamomile tea, the two giggling at the stars, Leo's laughter a new kind of light. The CDC says circulation improves within days of quitting, easing pressure as vessels begin to heal. 2 weeks in, my chest felt open, breaths deeper. John's did too, his steps steadier. I sit on my porch now, tea steaming, the night soft around me, stars brighter without smoke. John's here for Leo's future, to see his graduation. If one habit's already whispering to you, pause. Try just one small shift today. Habit 5. A nightcap that numbs more than nerves. You won't believe what Clara's nightly wine cost her heart. Under her lamp, a ruby glass glowed, her refuge after hours caring for her husband, his dementia erasing their shared past. I'd pour a small whiskey, sinking into my chair, the amber liquid softening the edges of long hospital days. But my sleep grew shallow, my pressure climbing, my mornings heavy. Clara's 160/100ths and groggy dawns were her reckoning, her body pleading for change. The Mayo Clinic says more than one drink daily for women raises pressure, disrupts sleep, and counters medications. Alcohol adds empty calories, piling weight your heart doesn't need, and it irritates the nervous system, keeping blood vessels tense. It can also weaken the heart muscle over time, like a rope fraying under strain. I switched to chamomile tea, its gentle warmth my new calm, the floral scent grounding me. Clara began writing one joy each night, like her husband humming their old wedding song, his voice faint but precious. Our sleep deepened, dreams returning. Clara's pressure eased to 140/90ths. Mine followed, my mornings clearer. I sit by my window now, tea curling like a quiet promise, the moonlight soft. Clara writes under her lamp, her pen scratching softly, her heart lighter with each word. What's in your glass tonight? Could a glass of lemon water, its citrus tang bright, or a grateful note written by candlelight cradle your heart and soul? Habit 6. Calm outside, pressure inside. Stress hides behind a calm face. I've felt it too deeply. Hospital shifts kept me steady outside, but worry churned within about patients, my aging parents, my own health. My pressure rose, a silent cry from my heart. Mary, a 65-year-old widow from Texas, carries this burden. She never snaps, but the grief for her late husband, who loved their evening walks by the lake, presses silently. Her garden, once their shared joy, now feels heavy. Her pressure, 155/90ths, is her body's plea, and she's still searching for her path. The American Psychological Association says chronic stress spikes cortisol, a hormone that squeezes blood vessels, raising pressure like a tightening coil. Over time, cortisol also disrupts sleep and digestion, creating a cycle that exhausts the heart. I started writing one gratitude each night, a patient's laugh, a sunrise's glow. Mary's trying too, jotting lines in her journal by her roses. Today, the petals held the rain. She breathes, inhale 4 seconds, exhale 6, by her garden, dusk painting the sky, the earth's scent grounding her. The science says stress relief can lower pressure by 5 to 10 mmHg, easing the heart strain. Mary's pressure hasn't dropped much yet, but her shoulders feel lighter, her journal a small beacon in her quiet evenings. I sit by my window, pen gliding across paper, peace settling like a soft blanket. If stress is tugging at you today, take a moment. Could one deep breath or a single grateful thought start to ease your heart? Habit 7. Feeling better, so you stopped? I skipped my pills on good days, thinking I was fine, my energy fooling me. Dizzy spells taught me otherwise, my heart stuttering under my arrogance. John made the same mistake, tossing his meds aside when he felt strong, his laughter loud in his backyard. Until his collapse, 165/95ths, in his garage, Leo's scared eyes watching. The American Heart Association warns that stopping meds without a doctor's guidance spikes pressure, risking stroke, heart failure, or kidney damage. Blood pressure meds work by keeping vessels relaxed and fluid balanced, but missing doses lets pressure surge, like a dam cracking under sudden flood. I keep a pill organizer by my morning tea now, its bright colors a daily vow to my heart. John sits by his coffee pot, a reminder as he pours his brew. We talk to our doctors, tweaking doses when side effects linger, never quitting. Our pressure stabilized, mine at 130/80ths, John's at 145/85ths, our hearts steadier. I see myself opening that organizer each dawn. The click of its lid, a small ritual grounding me. John checks his breakfast, Leo chattering nearby. Have you ever missed a dose, thinking you're okay? Could an alarm or a pillbox by your coffee mug, its presence steady, guard your heart? Habit 8. It's not just your blood pressure. My cholesterol crept up, a quiet thread alongside my pressure, like Clara's rising blood sugar. We thought pressure was our only battle. Wrong. Mary's struggling here too, her kidney function faltering, her pressure stuck at 155/90ths. The National Kidney Foundation says diabetes and kidney issues stiffen arteries and increase fluid retention, raising pressure like a balloon overfilled. High cholesterol adds plaque to arteries, narrowing them further, forcing the heart to push against growing resistance. I check my cholesterol monthly, choosing oats with almonds over sugary pastries, their nutty warmth enough. Clara tests her glucose weekly, swapping instant noodles for brown rice and leafy greens, her kitchen counter lined with mason jars of grains. Mary's trying, adding berries and spinach to her meals, but her numbers waver, her progress slow. She sits at her table, a bowl of strawberries bright before her, and though her pressure hasn't budged, she feels a spark of hope, her fork steady. I walk to the market, my bag bursting with spinach, strawberries, and walnuts, their colors a quiet vow. Clara's kitchen glows with roasted beets and kale, her husband's faint smile a reward. Mary's still learning, walking her garden path, each step a small defiance. When did you last check your cholesterol or blood sugar? Could a note for your doctor, scribbled by lamplight, help your heart thrive? You don't need to change everything today. Try 3 small steps. Add a veggie to dinner, sliced carrots, warm broccoli, crunch a gift. Walk 10 minutes after lunch. Sunlight soft on your face, the world alive around you. Set a pill reminder by your morning tea. Its chime, a gentle nudge. Each habit we've explored offers a simple act. Cucumber slices for chips, a grateful note in the evening's hush. What's your first step? Below this video, my heart-loving checklist is free to print, designed to sit on your fridge, walking with you step by step at your pace. I'm a grandson, not just a doctor. My grandmother's heart attack at 70 left me holding her hand as she whispered, "I thought I had more time." It drove me to change, walk, eat, live for my heart. My pressure fell from 160/100ths to 130/80ths. Your heart is waiting for you to act. If you're over 60, share your steps below. I read every comment. Answer weekly. What food will you skip tonight? Next, we'll explore collagen-rich foods for joints, skin. Subscribe. Join our Longevity Tale family. Take one small step today.